Today, I will be taking you all behind the scenes on my most recent fashion photo shoot. And this one is pretty cool because I'm actually going to be working with a stylist and a brand new model. So this is super dope. This stylist has just moved back to Houston from LA, and she has curated these perfect bikini pieces for the shoot style that me and Priya, my model, wanted to do. So I'm super excited to get into this. Let's hop right in. This is going to be a 6-light setup, and my lights are going to break down as follows. I am going to have my key light. It's a Godox 8600 BM. It's going to have a snoot with a grid on it. I did really want to control where my key light was going and also where her shadow was going from that key light. So it's in the Rembrandt / side position because I was trying to make sure that her shadow kind of fell off of my background. My fill light is going to be right under my key, so I'm keeping it on the exact same side. And this one, unfortunately, only has the regular reflector. I forgot to bring my reflector with the grids attached to it, so I wasn't really able to get it flagged off the way that I wanted to, but kind of played around with the angle, and I was still able to illuminate her lower body just enough, because that grid with the snoot, it doesn't really allow for a lot of fall off down the body. And this light was brought in to just make sure that that fall off was not really too drastic. And I had to play around with the levels because this one was to try to get into place. The next light that I brought into my scene is going to be an edge light, and I was putting all of my lights on the same side. I saw someone do a video about bringing in all of your light from the same side, kind of trying to mimic the sun. So that's something that I played around with here. So my edge light is actually on the same exact side as my key. Y'all know me, I normally cross, but today I did not cross. And that edge light is going to be pointed directly at her. And I kind of played around with the angle of it so that I wasn't getting too much of a double shadow. You're going to get it sometimes, but I was playing around with that angle to make sure that it wasn't too crazy, as well as playing around with the levels. The next light that I brought in is my global fill. And the reason why I brought in a global fill is to lift my overall levels. I am going to be using 6 gels on this. They're on 2 different lights, but I'm going to be using 6 gels. And I didn't want the shadow part of my image to fall too far black, because I did want to have some control over kind of how that gradient was spreading across my backdrop. So I did bring in a global fill, but this was very low. It wasn't really doing too much to her face. It was more to lift the overall levels of my scene. The next 2 lights that I brought in were my 2 background lights. And I was really having a hard time playing around with just how I wanted to saturate them in unison, right, with the rest of my lights. I was really trying to figure out my distances. And this is where a cyc wall would have been great, because I could have pulled her way off of the cyc wall, had all of my white lights, all the way to the front of the scene. And then I would have just been able to control exactly what my background was doing. But we all have different types of workspaces, so we have to work with what we have. And I was able to stack multiple gels. As you all know, I will stack gels to get that saturation. I stacked 3 gels on each, 2 blues and a purple, just so that I can get a nice even gradient across the back of my backdrop, because what I was going for was a blue and then white on the ground. So that was the goal here, at least for my raw images. And then of course in post, we can boost saturation and vibrance of that background. But I didn't want to completely darken my scene and kind of mess up the contrast that I was going for. So that's what that global fill and those background lights, those were the roles that they were playing. I also added in a V flat on the white side to the right side of her. So it was on the right side of her. And the whole point of this V flat, when I first took a couple shots, that shadow side was a bit dark. So I wanted to bring it up just a little bit. So I didn't put the V flat super close. So it wasn't like making it a flat image, but I did want to raise the levels on her just a little bit. So let's cut over to the studio and let you all check out the behind the scenes. Yep. And you don't even have to lean up. Nope, you don't have to get up. Just stay sitting in it. And the biggest thing is keep that there, and then that core. That's the biggest part. Yep, right there is perfect. And you're kind of like here. You can kind of let the head, because I think she's grabbing the neck. Yeah, and you can kind of like let the head kind of come off to the side, like looking like you're looking this way. Or try the other way. Try the other way. Yeah, like that, and kind of down though. So like boom. Yep, like a little side eye action. Okay, cool. Let's get it. 2. Oh yeah. 2. And remember, don't give me too much whites, so you can kind of like soften that gaze a little bit and bring it more my way. Bring your eyes more my way. Yep, right there, and then soften it. Chin goes down. Actually, do chin down, kind of like eyes closed a little bit. Let's try eyes closed. Yeah, right there's perfect. Good. 2. Now take your gaze more toward like the mirror. You can bring your chin. Yep, you can bring your chin too. And just, find that, you know the look. Like just find that look, yep. Chin up. Good. Let's switch the hand position. So we'll kind of play around with the hands. You don't have to keep them in the same spot the whole time. They can both go behind. Yep, they can both kind of go behind. Yep, get super weird with it. Yes, looking at me. 3, 2, looking right at me. Yes, I actually love that. 2, good. Yep. Now how you look up at me. Yep. 2, good. Let's switch the hands again. Can you bring them to the floor? Yep. Let's get in some of that action. Walk that pose forward a little bit. Yep, just so I can keep the light on your face. Good. And then walk your feet back a little bit. Yeah, don't go too tabletop. And try to sit your butt to the ground. Yep, walk the feet back a little more. Yep, and then bring your bottom into your heels. Walk your hands up some. And then point your knees to the ceiling. Yeah, lean back in it, yep. Yep, just like that, find that, and then your shoulders can kind of go back. That way your chest goes up, if that makes sense. Like this, yep, nope, like this.
You're gonna like push me in it.
No, like this. So if you're here, then I want your shoulders to go up.
Oh, so I have some space between
Yep,
my legs.
Shoulders go up.
Go up?
Yep, and then you keep that arch in your back, yes. And then you tighten the core and we're good to go. Yep.
Is where my face looking at you?
Let's do, I like a straight gaze. Let's do a straight gaze. Cool, yep, 3, 2, nice. 2, good, looking at me. Now I'm gonna get a few closer. Yeah, love that. Try to drop your hips a little bit more. This one's a close up, yeah. So try to engage here. Yep, good, yep, just like that. Good, yes. Good, yep, find that, yes. Oh yeah, that's nice, yep. Let me get closer. Come to me, eyes to me. Nah, I like that, what you're just doing, that little straight gaze, that's dope. 2, yep. Pause here real quick.
Oh, those are crazy. Yeah.
Dude, I love this type of stuff, yeah.
One. These are so beautiful.
If you're looking to elevate your studio photography lighting, look no further. Click the link in my bio as the studio lighting bundle is now live. 24 different lighting setups, light ratios, cheat sheet, detail behind the scenes, light placement, gonna go over how to meter lights. This is the bundle of a lifetime. I'm gonna do strobes and constant lights all in the same bundle. I don't wanna waste any more of your time. Let's get back to the content. That is gonna do it for today's video. So as you can see, my last few shoots have been about 5 or 6 lights each. And what I've been doing is playing around with A, where I position my lights, B, how I am controlling them in terms of intensity. So what happens if I let, my B light be my key? What happens if I let the A light stay the key and then maybe turn my C light down and bring in my D a little harder? So I'm really playing around with how I can further control my looks. When I come into the studio, I don't want to just snap off and then have to do a bunch in editing or have my editor have to do a whole bunch. I really want to get to the point where I can look at an image, some inspo, whatever the case may be, a brand sends me something and I can break down immediately, maybe not immediately, but I can break down to a T how I want to light this, what equipment I'll need to do so, and then go and implement it, right? It's one thing to kind of watch these videos on YouTube because I watch videos as well and understand the concept. It's a whole nother thing to go in and put it into practice with a different subject, a different studio space, and 9 times out of 10 different equipment. And the other thing that I'm doing is playing around with different types of modifiers, trying to see which kind of fit my work style the best and which ones maybe have I slept on and can have a great use for what exactly it is that I'm trying to do. If you're someone that's trying to learn a little bit more about lighting or a lot of bit more about lighting, please click the link in my bio. I have the studio lighting bundle. It is still up and more playbooks to come. So let's go ahead and get in this ecosystem and get you learning and then we learning together and we're both making some magic. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you all in the next video.